Hi there. Are you a girl or a young woman interested in science? Well, did you know that in Europe only about 10% of engineering and technology professors are female? My name is Katrien Maes. I'm the Deputy Secretary General of the League of European Research Universities, LERU for short. And I'm here to talk today about women in science. I myself don't have a background in science. I'm in the social sciences, if you want to. I was a linguist, to be precise. But through my work in LERU, I've come across the topic of women in science. I've worked quite a bit on it. You may, by the way, want to check out our publications, the LERU publications on women in science, and they're available on our website, www.leru.org. So through my work, I come into contact with senior academics and leading figures at universities, and I see firsthand that the culture is still quite white and male dominated. But I think we can also change things, and things are changing. What we need is more change, and we need more cultural change and more systemic change. So we need to have a more inclusive and a more diverse environment in academia. But not only in academia, by the way. If I think of the EU research programs, they've done a lot to advance the issue of women in science, but there's more that still can be done. What I'd like to suggest for the EU programs is that they make sure that their processes are bias-free, that they have balanced numbers of women in panels and in projects, and that they make sure that they encourage women enough to apply for grants and fellowships and projects and so on. And the EU needs to keep promoting women in science and in engineering as much as they already do, and even more, to governments, to universities, to the private sector, and so on. This is particularly important in some of the new and emerging technology areas, whether it's blockchain, whether it's artificial intelligence, and so on. So I want to talk to you also about my personal experience. I have a daughter who is doing a doctoral degree in psychology, by the way. And the advice that I gave her and give her is also the advice that I would give to all girls, which is go for it. If you're passionate about what you study and your discipline, then just go for it. Don't be discouraged by the lack of women in senior positions, or keep in mind also that there are many other jobs outside of academia, in the public sector, in the government. You can work in public policy and in many other areas. There are areas that you can go into sooner or later once you complete your PhD. Just like I did, actually, after an initial academic career, I transitioned into my role in LERU, and this current role is one in which I try to bridge the world of academia and research and policy and politics. Well, that transition has been one of the most challenging things that I've done in my professional career, but it's been a really rewarding one. One that has opened up new horizons and has given me immense satisfaction. So I would say, aim high, don't let others talk you out of it. For graduates, for example, think about competing for a Marie Sklodowska-Curie grant. It's a European grant scheme that gives money to talented young scientists. It's hard to get, it's very hard to get, but it can really help your career to take off. So I would also say you're never too young to start building experiences. For young girls, you could go to your local university and participate in a kids' university or in a science festival, or go to some science boot camp, and don't let anybody tell you that's for boys or that's too hard. Finally, I'd like to end with some advice that Marie Skłodowska-Curie herself gave. And by the way, Curie is her married name, Skłodowska is her own name, and she won not one but 2 Nobel Prizes, so I think she knows what she's talking about. And she said, and I quote, "I've frequently been questioned, especially by women, of how I could reconcile family life with a scientific career. Well, it has not been easy." And I would say that's the honest truth. It's still true. And I would also say most rewarding careers, whether it's in science or elsewhere, are demanding. But Marie Skłodowska-Curie also said, and here's another quote, "We must have perseverance and above all confidence in ourselves. We must believe that we are gifted for something and that this thing must be attained." So my last words are, believe in yourself, believe that what you do matters to science and to society.